Hello everyone and welcome back to another Figurehead Reviews video, and today we are taking a look at the Marvel Legends Scarlet Spider, part of the Retro Collection Wave 2. Here we have Scarlet Spider displayed on that retro style card with his swappable parts there also on display, as called out by the little burst effect pattern there down at the bottom. On the back we do see some artwork there of the Scarlet Spider swinging into action there, very cool dynamic shot. And then we do have a read-up. The clone of Peter Parker left New York and wandered the country, returning years later, calling himself Ben Reilly. He became the superhero known as the Scarlet Spider. Then we do have all the other figures included in this Retro Collection Wave 2, and we do have the UPC code there down at the bottom. But enough about that, let's get this open and take a look at the Scarlet Spider. And here is the Scarlet Spider outside of his packaging, and one of the first things that I had thought when I saw this figure is that the metallic tones that they used for the red were kind of an odd choice given that this is supposed to be a fabric suit. And getting a look at it, getting out of the package, I think it's more that this just has it's a bigger shine to it than I guess we've seen with some of the other ones. I mean, the plastic is always shiny, but I guess with this metallic type look to it, it just seems to be shinier, I guess. It's not terrible, though. It's using a deeper red than what we got with the Scarlet Spider from the 2015 Rhino Bathwave. So I suppose it's not bad. I think the biggest advantage to this is, as I said, that previous figure was all the way back in 2015 in the Rhino Bath series, which I think is selling on eBay for anywhere between $40 to $60 new in box. So this gives people a good chance to get a retro style figure without having to fork over all that extra cash. Now, one of the downsides, though, with the Retro series is you always do have a few less accessories. In this case, we don't get wall-crawling hands, but inside the package, we do get a pair of fisted hands, and then we get a pair of thwipping hands. But probably the biggest thing that we get in this one that we didn't get with that last one is going to be that head sculpt for Ben Reilly, which we're going to take a look at here when we do our closer looks. And when standing straight up, this figure is coming in at 6 1/8 inches tall, which makes him about 15.1 centimeters, which seems kind of short for a Spider-Man figure, but it works. It's not too bad, I suppose. But since he doesn't come with any sort of Build-A-Figure piece and he doesn't have any other accessories other than that head sculpt, which we're going to look at here in just a moment, why don't we just do that? Jump in, let's look at the paint and sculpt. And starting first here with the Ben Reilly head sculpt, we can see that they used the Peter Parker sculpt from the Spider-Man and Mary Jane 2-pack, and of course we do have some different hair on there, most notably some very blonde hair on there. And I think that's why we've seen more and more of Hasbro moving towards the glued-on hair versus the sculpted-on hair, is it just gives them an opportunity to reuse face sculpts and then just have to change the hair on it and you can get a completely different character. So I don't mind that, actually, because I think as long as the glue lines look good, which this one's not too bad. I mean, it's a little bit of gappage there on some spots, but as long as they do it well, it comes off pretty nice. And it's a good-looking sculpt, though. Looks good on the body, so nice size and everything. So no complaints there. And the eyes looks like they were painted pretty decent on this guy, so not bad. Switching over now to the standard Scarlet Spider head, though, and not too shabby. I mean, it's nothing too special. The paint on the eyes looks like it came out pretty sharp. Don't have any issues there, as a matter of fact. Although, what is that, like a chunk in the corner there? I mean, it's not noticeable to the naked eye. I can only see it through the camera lens, honestly. But not too bad. And the metallic tone on there it doesn't seem to be as reflective as it was with Vision. Like, we don't see the same flecks of the metallic look to it. One thing I do want to point out, I had a seized up neck joint. You can kind of see where it looks like it was painted shut. So when I first took this out, that neck hinge wouldn't move at all. But thankfully I got it loose. The hoodie here, my biggest complaint is that. So the paint stops And not only that, but you would think that even at a slight angle up, it becomes misaligned. It would have been great if at this neutral pose here, so starting at that line, if they would have painted this straight up instead of continuing on at an angle, it would have looked like the fabric was stretching, and then you would have had a connecting line from the bottom to that top piece, instead of even just the first click and you become completely misaligned. So that is disappointing that they didn't make that just really simple change. Like I said, all you would have had to do is establish your neutral, and then from that point up, just go straight. But oh well. And then on the back, though, we see the same issue, except they didn't even try to go very far up, and you almost instantly see just a complete cutoff there from the paint. So if he's looking down on the back, then you're going to lose that too. But I mean, otherwise, the paint on it came out pretty sharp. So I mean, I do like it. It's just I wish they would have done that. And then we can see the belt is going to be, or rather the hoodie is sculpted around the capsules there on the belt, which means if you use the waist rotation, it's going to throw that off, and it's going to bend the belt around and twist it and things like that. So that can become a bit of a nuisance that you have to sort of plan your poses in ways that the belt isn't going to look too crazy. But otherwise, the paint on the belt, I mean, not bad. Looks like the capsules there are each individually painted, and it's mostly aligned. But yeah, you can see again there on the back where it's not lined up. So, and then we do have the gauntlets here. I mean, pretty basic, just molded in silver. Hands came out good. Don't really have any marbling or anything like that I noticed, or at least not too bad. I say that, and it looks like I just found like a little bit of marbling there on that shoulder. Not too bad over there. And then, of course, the thwipping hands came out looking good. No complaints on that. And then the legs look good, and then we get the little ankle pouches. And we actually have paint there on the straps. So that is pretty cool that they did that much with it. I do like that. And even the button. Look at that. They even painted the button. So not a bad sculpt overall. And like I said, the red being a darker tone than what we got in the previous one looks pretty good. And I guess somehow it looks both metallic and not metallic at the same time to me. I don't know how that is, but it's not too bad looking. Looking at the articulation, you have a head that can go all the way around, can bury his chin. Not too bad. Can look up pretty good. I should mention that this part of the hoodie, the strings, is a little bit flexible, but this piece is molded on there, so that's not going anywhere. You have arms that can come up about 90 degrees, full rotation, bicep swivel, double jointed elbow. Then you do have a hinge and rotation there at the wrists. I already showed that ab crunch, but to see how far down, not much. Back, though, quite a ways. Also showed that waist rotation, but again, remember that belt is going to get in the way. You can go all the way around, though. Legs can come apart, about that far. He can kick forward very high. It is going to kind of go off to the side, but that's really good. Like you saw one of those 360 poses that I had earlier. That's about how I had the legs there. You do have an upper thigh cut, very good double jointed knee, and then you do have a hinge and ankle pivot. And that's going to do it for this review, everyone. So overall, with there being a 5-year gap between the last time we saw the Scarlet Spider figure and now, there's certainly a lot of collectors out there who probably don't have a classic Scarlet Spider. So for them, I think this is a good pickup. However, if you already have the Scarlet Spider figure from that Rhino wave, you may not really need this. It doesn't bring much new to the table. I mean, yes, we do get the Ben Reilly head sculpt, which I just wanted to show what it looks like here on the suited body. The only catch is the head is not all the way on. If you put the head all the way on, it is going to sit way too low, and he's not going to have a neck. But I would love to see a Ben Reilly as the Jackal in the red suit with the face mask that he had there during the clone conspiracy. And we still haven't gotten a all-new, all-different Scarlet Spider, which is essentially almost like a mix between the Kane Scarlet Spider costume and then having a hoodie on this one. I mean, it's a weird-looking costume, but I want it. So that's just me. But like I said, if you already have the Rhino Wave Scarlet Spider, you really don't need to pick this one up. That's That's my honest opinion on it. It's a good figure, though, and certainly if you are building that Spider-Verse, I think this variation here of Scarlet Spider in his classic blue hoodie is definitely something that you need to have. So if you don't have them, pick it up. But anyway, like I said, that is it for this review, everyone. Make sure to hit that thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe for more content just like this. And as always, thanks for watching my videos, and have a great day.